I just said bye to my og. I had told him, I think last week when I went in there, that I was moving, and he was like, no, this is terrible news. This is sad news. He was not happy, but I was like, I'm gonna come back before I move, and I'm gonna say hi. Well, I'm gonna say bye. So we just got back from moving some stuff to the apartment, so I was like, I gotta go stop by and see Mustafa. So I pull up, I'm like, I'm back. I told you I would come before I left. He was like, oh no. He grabbed my hands and he was like, give me a hug. I'm like, oh. They don't tell you about this. They don't tell you that when you move in New York, you are breaking up with your aunt, you're breaking up with your corner store. Like, that is such a love-filled relationship that people who are not from New York will not understand. So that really just warmed my heart. He was like, he's going away back home for Ramadan. I said, oh, for how long? A month? He said 6. I said, oh. He was like, yeah, I need to relax. But he was like, he seemed happy for me, and he was just like, you're gonna like it, you know, it's good that you're moving out by yourself. So I was so sad. Wow, guys. In my bedroom to that gray vinyl because the wood was fine. It was great. I don't really know why they changed it, but it kind of changes my decor plans. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is my house. Like, I'm really gonna be living here. This is insane. Grateful. Day one of, or I guess night one, day one of being in my apartment. Thoughts. So I slept really well, which is surprising because usually in a new space on the first night I don't sleep well. Like, whether it's going to a hotel or visiting someone's house that I've never really stayed at before, it's usually hard for me to sleep that first night. But surprisingly, I don't know if it was moving just took a lot out of me. Plus my back was hurting. I ended up knocking out. And like pretty early too. Well, maybe not too early, but I ended up knocking out and slept really comfortably. I need to touch base with the super tomorrow about the heat because it doesn't really feel like it's coming up very high. But thankfully my blanket was really warm. So that was good. I didn't feel like I was like shivering or anything. I think I'm used to my apartment's noise. Like, no apartment in New York City that I know of is soundproof. So it's something that we all living and growing up here have to get used to. So I think what's happening is I'm used to the noises that are typical for my apartment building, which are people going up and down the stairs, slamming the door, dragging their chair across the floor upstairs. We have some singers in our building slash our neighbors, so I usually hear them singing. Usually hear other things too. So I'm trying to adjust to the noises that I'm hearing in this building. There are some badass kids here. Like I just heard them tweaking it out with their parent about the elevator. I don't know what that's about, but it's not even 12 o'clock, so like y'all need to relax that. Um Hearing people above me move and then hearing people in the hallway either slamming their door or talking. Like last night before I went to bed, before my parents left, I don't know what was going on, but it was like somebody organized an impromptu kitty play date in the hallway, and those little rascals were yelling, screaming, carrying on. So I think it's just a matter of I have to get used to these noises. And I'm sure when we moved back to New York a million years ago from the South, I had to go through a similar adjustment coming from a house to an apartment in Atlanta that was still an apartment, but it was quiet. And then moving to a New York City apartment, which is like a weird cross between private and not private because you hear everybody's business and they hear yours. So I'm hoping that's what I'm experiencing right now, and it's just a matter of once I'm used to it, it'll be fine. I also think when I get some rugs, it'll feel less like an echo in here. I feel like because there's no rugs in here, there's no carpet. Everything feels like it's echoing, and I feel like I'm making a lot of noise when I move around. But I think I just need to be patient and like open minded to this process because it is brand new. Excuse me. Um, yeah, and I also think since I'm on a higher floor, that's also an adjustment because at home, my parents' house, we're on the first floor. So we don't have to worry about making noise downstairs, but I'm, excuse me, wow, more conscious now of how loud I am to my downstairs neighbors. I also think for better or for worse, maybe my Reddit scrolling on apartment living has made me a little bit more sensitive to the noise than it otherwise would have because so many people go on that subreddit and are like, oh, my neighbors are loud, or oh, I'm the loud neighbor, but I don't think I'm loud, or oh, is this appropriate? Oh, is this too much? Like, I think I've kind of let those posts get in my head a little bit too much, but I'm hoping that I'll just get used to the noise. I have my beautiful chic curtains, my temporary curtains for now that my lovely mother put up. So curtains are definitely next on the list. I'm trying to prioritize because I really do want a rug or two. I need to double check the prices for blinds slash curtains to see what I'm working with, but I'm thinking I'll do curtains in here and then blinds in the living room. Maybe get some blinds also for the kitchen. I have to think about that. And initially in this room, there were these beautiful hardwood floors like out there. And then for some reason they changed them to these. So definitely changed up my little, decor situation in my head, but I want to work with what I got. And most likely get a beige or taupe colored abstract rug because I think that'll tie in the gray that I unfortunately have for my floor, but also my brown wood furniture in here. Yeah. So we're gonna piece by piece figure out what to do with this space. But yeah, I'm just trying to be patient. sift through this new experience because it's so weird. I was telling my mom today, I was like, even though I did go away for boarding school and I used to do sleepaway camp when I was little, this just feels very different, even though I'm geographically much closer to my parents now than I was ever in those other years of going away and experiencing life outside of home. And my mom was like, yeah, it feels different because it's more permanent. And I was like, well, not permanent. This was weird when they left last night. I was like, oh, wait, they're leaving me. Why am I not going with them? So, yeah, I'm just trying to roll with the punches and take this experience for what it is. I need to finish unpacking. I will most likely end up getting another storage option in my room to put some of my clothes. I just have to figure out where to put it and how I want things to flow in here, because this is the first time I've had a room this big. So it's exciting, but I also don't want to fill the space to the point where things feel cluttered in here. So just balancing. I'm about to get ready to go to my parents' house, see my mom. I wonder if she said she wanted to make pancakes, so we'll see, and just hang out there. It's so far. Is finally here. She is a vibe. She is a diva. I am really trying to figure out what my personal style is, like what clothes actually make me feel the most beautiful, the most comfortable. And I feel like one part of this equation is a monochrome look. Something about a monochrome look for me just makes me feel very comfortable. Today, I'm about to head out to go meet my mom at my parents' house, which sounds so weird to say that it's not my house, but it's like, it kind of is my house, but it's my parents' house. So I'm gonna go meet my mom. We're supposed to meet her coworker and her coworker's daughter because her daughter is thinking of either going to law school or medical school, so she wants to talk to me about my experience. And I mean, y'all know I didn't like law school. I didn't enjoy being there, but I had great friends and I had really helpful opportunities to learn, like through my clinics and through my summer job. But I guess I'll just try to, my intention is to let her ask me questions so that I can best give her insight into what the experience was like for me. Because even though I didn't like it, it is a necessary path to become a lawyer. So if she feels like, that's something she really wants to do, then I have no problem talking to her about my experience and being very candid. I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm pretty candid about things in general, especially when it comes to law school. I don't know, the environment. I didn't, like in college, granted, I think I had a lot more fun because one of my majors was English, creative writing, and that was my bread and butter. Like that is what brings me joy. So I felt more alive, like something in me was thriving because I could go to a poetry workshop class or a short stories class and read my work and hear other people's work and like get inspiration, get creativity. And that was fun. Like getting an assignment to create something, to create a story. I loved that. And in law school, I felt like the light had kind of come out of education for me. Like that spark and that joy that I had felt was no longer there. Doesn't mean that there weren't classes in law school that I liked. Like I liked Grim Pro, criminal law, trademark law was a good class. I also took a class on restorative and transformative justice, which I really liked, which funny enough, I'm listening to a podcast right now on, 11:11, make a prayer. I'm listening to a podcast on Wondery that I had started a couple years ago and haven't listened to in a while, but it's called This Is Actually Happening. And it's a 5-part, this specific season is a 5-part series on each episode is an individual story that centers around restorative justice. So that class that I took in law school was good. I liked my negotiations competition team that I was on. Like it's not to say that law school was terrible, but I didn't feel this like sustained joy or excitement. Like every day I had to go to school, I was upset. Like I dreaded it. The only good thing was the chance to see my friends. So I don't know how many other people have that experience. I'm sure like a lot of other people have that experience, but I also know there are some people who absolutely love their law school time. I just personally cannot relate. When it came to law school, my community was great. I love my friends, but the actual academic portion was just not it. So we'll see what happens. Those are my thoughts. One thing I will say about this apartment, let me bring it up close. I love this apartment. One thing I will say is that I can hear, like when somebody's in the hallway, I can hear them. So it makes me paranoid that people can hear me when I'm talking in here. So last night, and maybe I'll put like a screenshot on the screen for y'all, but last night I was going through on Canva and trying to figure out what rugs and wall color will look good in my bedroom. So on Canva, I've just been, in my little graphic designer bag, making, what do they call it? Not renditions. I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I have been reconstructing my bedroom to figure out what color schemes will work. And now, I think because they put this gray, nasty vinyl on the floor, and my bed and my dresser are so dark, the bedroom will have to be a very moody room, which is cute because the bedroom, you're supposed to sleep, you're supposed to decompress, you're supposed to relax. The living room will be contrasted to be bright, airy, warm wood tones. So I think for the bedroom, I'm gonna go with this rug that I found on Ruggable. Child, when I put the dimensions for 10 by 14 and that price jumped, my credit card will be having words with me. But I haven't bought it yet. But I need a rug big enough to cover as much of that floor as possible. I know that sounds so dramatic, and people are probably like, Sydney, it's not that bad. But y'all weren't here when I toured. When I toured this apartment, first of all, when I toured this apartment, it was still under construction. So the kitchen was under construction, the bathroom was under construction. Those were the two things. The bedroom, I was able to go in, and the bedroom still had the friggin' wood floor. And I remember telling the agent, I was like, oh my gosh, the wood floors are beautiful. Are you guys thinking of changing them? She was like, oh, I don't think so. I was like, yeah, I hope you guys don't because they're beautiful. She was like, yeah, they are in really good condition. Went with my dad maybe 2 weeks before I moved in. And the contractor was still here. Nice guy. We came. My dad saw the wood floors, bro. Why? When I come to pick up my keys on the Friday before moving, the floors are gray. What? I'm so crazy that I was literally like, yo, I would be willing to pay for y'all to take this off and give me back my floors. And to be honest, that is not off the table. Like if I end up staying here for a good little minute, I might have to talk to management and be like, hey, how much would it cost? Because y'all really just dashed away my hopes and dreams for this room. But I think with the rug that I'm gonna get and the paint color that I'm thinking, I think it'll tie in together. I'm also heavily considering blackout curtains, like olive green blackout curtains instead of blinds. I think blinds will go in the living room. I think I'm doing wooden blinds in the living room because then that'll look good with the floor. And I need to get a rug for in here too. So I have to figure that out. But I don't think that'll be as hard as the mental gymnastics I've been doing to pull the bedroom together. So that's my little rant about that. Everything else though is pretty good. I honestly cannot believe this is my apartment. Like it's surreal to even have my own space. Like I come home to this and I'm so grateful that I have a space to call my own where yeah, sometimes it does get lonely for sure, but it's my space. Like I can sit and I can relax, I can do this, I can do whatever. I could cook when I want. Like if I don't want to wash the dishes right away, I don't have to. I mean, I was doing that at home anyway, but so it's nice. Just light a candle, relax. My good sis Tanner bought me a German candle, honey, and linen spray. So it's giving luxurious hotel experience over here. You know what I'm saying? So as time goes on, I'm really excited to see how I pull this space together. I am also trying to decide if I'm gonna do a TV in the living room or if I'm gonna stick with my idea of getting a projector. This wall stays darker than the other wall. So if I do a projector, I probably have it pointing that way. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do a TV instead. I'm not sure. And I'm looking at the walls and I don't even think the lady, I mean, they could have definitely patched it, but it doesn't even look like the lady who used to live here had a TV that was mounted on the wall because I don't see any sort of patching unless the patching is just like really good. But I don't see any of that. And apparently she lived here for like 30 years. But then she started showing signs of Alzheimer's, so they moved her, I guess her family moved her to a care facility. But she was living here, living her best life, I'm sure. And now I can live my best life here. So I guess that's a little circle of life. I think it was 40. Yeah. So I am home today. Well, I'm home now. I did go into the office to work today. I think I want to, as best as possible, make my in-office days Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It just lets me get everything out the way. Today was not as late as yesterday, thankfully. Usually when I come home, I get something to eat. And then I try to decompress by watching stuff on YouTube or if there's a good show on Max. Like last night I was watching 90 Day Fiance. And I just need a break sometimes. Like today was a very productive day. And I felt like I was able to zone in, which is good. And I think part of that was because I wore my headphones. And they're noise canceling headphones. Shout out to Darren. And I don't know, they really help me because even if the office is quiet, I think putting on the headphones, muting any other sound that could be around is really helpful. So I like that. And it helped me get honestly, most of my to-do list done. The thing with this job is you could write a to-do list a million times in a day. And it changes a million times in a day. Like, I'll submit something, and then there are follow-up questions, there are follow-up edits to incorporate. And a lot of that takes a while for me to do as a junior because it's my first time doing most, if not all of the assignments that I'm given. And so sometimes I get self-conscious about how long it takes me to do something, but at the same time, I'm like, this is the first time you're doing it. Like, just do it and try to do it to the best of your ability, girl. And right now, I really like the cases that I'm on, which is a blessing. And I turned in part of a brief to the partner and got really positive feedback on it, so that made me happy. I'm working really close with a few partners on some of the cases that I'm on, which I like, and I feel like overall the team dynamics that I'm on are very supportive, which is helpful because I thrive when I feel comfortable going to someone for questions. And so it makes a big difference knowing that I can check in with people on my teams, and even people who aren't on my teams, like my mentors, to get a gut check from them on situations where it's like, you know, I've never done this assignment. How do I do this? Like the other day, I did not know how to pull one version of a document and do a red line on it to the new version to send it to a partner. And my mentor came through for me. So that's also another benefit of being in the office, because like, yes, we could have probably done a step-by-step over the phone, but it's so much easier to just walk to somebody's office and ask them questions. So I mean, I can't really complain. 3 days in the office is not as bad as 5, so I'll take that. But I'm really thankful that tonight is a light night. Like, when I say last week really hit me over the head, like, I was tired, I was busy, I was overwhelmed, because things just pile on so quickly in this job. Like, every day I wake up thinking I know what to anticipate in terms of assignments. Girl, please. Girl, please. So I'm trying to get used to that and just adjust. Thankfully, my dinner was provided by my parents because my dad had a brunch, and so he cooked, and they were gracious enough to give their firstborn some leftovers so I don't starve. So I have that, which I'm thankful for. Honestly, I may dive back into some of this research, but honestly, I would really love it if this was the end of my night. You know? Yeah.